FS6 live stream. Let me go ahead and get this YouTube information updated. All right, I'm ready. So, if you guys haven't checked out my videos before, hold on one second. Is my mic working? Let's see. All right, we are good to go. So if you guys haven't checked out my videos before, I'm doing a little rebuild with Florida State. We are currently 4-1. Our only loss was to Notre Dame at home in the rain. Very sloppy game. It was a sad loss, but we learned from it. We grew from it. The next week, we went to Alabama and beat Tuscaloosa. Or beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, my bad. We beat Clemson, which they were ranked as well. So if you guys enjoyed this game, please check those out because both of those games were nuts. We're about to go down south to play number 2 Miami, hopefully beat that ass. I've been using AI to create a little story. So I'm going to play you guys the story before we start the game. We fired Mike Norvell, brought on Brock Ellis from Childs High School, local high school coach, and he's so far turned the program around. We got some really good recruits that committed last week when we beat Clemson. But we are on the road to glory. Hopefully we can beat Miami in their own house. That would be nice. This game's going to be pretty intense because their overall is pretty high compared to mine. But we're not going to let that scare us. We're not going to let that phase us. I'm going to go ahead and play you this clip, this audio clip. It's going to talk about last week's game. It's going to talk about this week's game. And halfway through it, I will probably start the game up. So please listen to this. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. And then, yeah, I'll get back up with you after this audio.
A college football box score, right? And you see that a team lost the turnover battle 4-2.
Oh, yeah. That is usually an instant death sentence for a team.
Exactly. I mean, they got absolutely dominated in total yards. They went a miserable 2 for 9 on third down, and their quarterback threw for barely 60 yards.
Right. You see that stat line, and you immediately assume that team got completely run out of the stadium.
You really do. But the statistical paradox we are unpacking today for you on this deep dive is that Florida State put up those exact abysmal offensive numbers against the number 7 ranked Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, recently. Just a wild game.
Right, their recent game. And somehow they walked away with a 26-point victory, winning 35-9.
It defies all logic.
It really does. So our mission today is to look at the raw data.
One second, I got someone calling me.
The play-by-plays, and even the immediate recruiting impact to figure out how FSU moved to 4-1 and dropped Clemson to 2-2.
Because statistically, it completely breaks every traditional metric of how a football game is supposed to be won.
It really does. And we've got a lot of ground to cover today before we look ahead to FSU's bye week and that massive matchup with number 1 Miami. So let's just get into it.
Sounds good. I mean, when you look through the raw data from this matchup, you are basically forced to throw out the traditional math.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this game is a masterclass in the difference between volume and leverage. Clemson played a volume game.
Right. They ran, 59 offensive plays to Florida State's 38?
Exactly, 59 to 38. They racked up more total yards, 259 to 221. They secured more first downs.
I think it was 10 to 8 on first downs.
Yeah, 10 to 8. They even controlled the clock, holding the ball for 10 and a half minutes to FSU's 9.5.
Okay, so I look at that 59 to 38 play disparity, and it feels like watching a boxing match where one fighter lands 50 more jabs, but somehow still loses the decision.
That's actually a really good way to put it.
Because we are so conditioned to believe that methodical, sustained drives equal good football. But Florida State gave the ball away 4 times.
4 times.
Wow.
3 fumbles and an interception.
It's crazy. And their freshman quarterback, Case Berry, completed only 10 of 19 passes for 66 yards. I mean, you cannot survive coughing the ball up 4 times and barely generating a passing attack unless your entire strategy is, bypassing volume entirely.
Right. And to understand the mechanics of how FSU survived that, I like to think of this matchup like 2 people playing blackjack.
Okay, blackjack. Walk me through that.
So Clemson was trying to hit 21 by drawing 5 or 6 cards on every single hand.
Which is incredibly risky.
Exactly. Every time you run another play, you introduce another chance to bust. A holding penalty, a blown blocking assignment, maybe a dropped pass.
Right, so you have to execute perfectly over a 12-play drive just to get into the red zone.
Exactly. But Florida State wasn't drawing 5 cards. They just sat back, absorbed a few losses, and waited to be dealt a natural blackjack.
I see.
They didn't need sustained perfection because they capitalized on catastrophic high leverage moments.
That blackjack analogy perfectly explains the scoring summary, honestly, because FSU's offense was the absolute definition of boom or bust.
Oh, completely.
Let's look at their running back, Branson Robinson. In the first quarter, he breaks an 84-yard touchdown run.
An electric highlight reel play.
But the underlying math of his performance is just hilarious to me. Robinson finished the game with exactly 8 carries for 81 total yards.
Right, which means his other 7 carries went for a combined -3 yards.
Wait, literally -3?
Yeah, -3 yards on 7 touches.
It's like hitting the lottery after losing your wallet 3 times. I mean, you have 7 runs that literally go backward or just get stuffed at the line, and one that goes 84 yards to the house.
It's absurd.
So is a boomer bust offense like that actually a calculated strategy, or are they just relying on pure, unadulterated luck to bail out a terrible game plan?
Well, it's a calculated gamble, but it relies heavily on the psychological breakdown of the defense.
Okay, how so?
Look at the mechanics of gap assignment from the perspective of, say, a Clemson defensive lineman. For 7 straight plays, you dominate the trenches.
Right, you're feeling good about yourself.
Exactly. You read the snap count, you fire off the ball, shed your block, and you stuff Robinson in the backfield. You start to feel invincible.
But that invincibility breeds complacency, doesn't it?
100%. On the 8th try, one linebacker gets a little too aggressive. He jumps the wrong gap trying to make another highlight tackle behind the line, and suddenly the second level is completely vacated.
Wow.
Robinson hits the crease, and because the safeties have crept up expecting another run stuff, there is literally nobody left to catch him.
And that completely shattered confidence changes the entire momentum of the game, right?
Yeah.
A defense that just spent the last 15 minutes congratulating themselves suddenly realizes their margin for error is basically 0.
Yeah, you start overthinking every single assignment.
And Florida State just kept finding those explosive moments whenever the pressure mounted. Like in the 4th quarter, Jay Haynes added a 23-yard rushing touchdown to keep Clemson at arm's length.
They weren't sustaining drives at all. They were just landing knockout punches this second Clemson let their guard down.
But you can only afford to swing for those knockout punches if you have a reliable floor somewhere else, right? Which Florida State found in their kicker, Jake Weinberg.
Weinberg was absolutely essential. In a game defined by total offensive volatility, where you were either fumbling the ball or ripping off an 80-yard run, Weinberg was the anchor.
He perfectly executed all 4 extra points, right?
Yeah, all 4 extra points, and he hit 2 crucial field goals, a 41-yarder and a 32-yarder.
Yeah.
He essentially subsidized the offense's recklessness.
Yeah, Weinberg's kicks definitely kept them afloat, but I'm still hung up on the math here.
That is wild.
An 84-yard run, a 23-yard run, and a couple of field goals still don't explain how a team with 4 turnovers beats a top 10 opponent by 26 points.
No, they don't.
Because you can't rely purely on offensive lightning strikes when your own quarterback is struggling that badly. So Florida State won this game because their defense essentially abandoned traditional containment and morphed into their primary scoring weapon.
Yes, this is the craziest stat of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The Florida State defense directly accounted for 14 points.
Wow.
While Clemson's entire offense and special teams only managed 9 points. FSU's defense outscored the opposing team all by themselves.
I look at these defensive stats, and it feels like Florida State's defensive coordinator treated his unit like an offense. Like, are they gambling more than a standard defense, or is this just elite opportunistic execution?
It is a highly aggressive scheme that is explicitly designed to force panic. We usually evaluate a defense, on their ability to force 3 and
all right, get the ball back to the offense.
Exactly. But FSU played with a level of aggression that prioritized takeaways over simple stops. They were generating immense pressure.
Especially on the defensive front.
Oh, yeah. K-Win was a total nightmare for the Clemson offensive line. He racked up 4 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks.
And then you have linebacker Blake Nicholson recording 12 total tackles and a sack of his own.
Right. When you have edge rushers and linebackers constantly collapsing the pocket and disrupting the timing of the blocking scheme, quarterbacks make terminal mistakes.
And you can see that panic perfectly reflected in Cade Vizina's stat line.
The Clemson quarterback.
Yeah, he threw 37 times, but only completed 19 passes for 152 yards and 0 touchdowns. He was constantly under duress.
And the secondary just fed off that chaos.
Completely. I mean, in the first quarter, defensive back Jonathan Jean scooped up a fumble and returned it 23 yards for a touchdown.
Setting the tone early.
Then, late in the fourth quarter, defensive back Quindarius Jones absolutely slammed the door shut with an 89-yard interception return for a touchdown.
And that 89-yard pick six is the direct result of the pressure we just discussed. Vizina wasn't throwing bad passes in a vacuum.
Right, he was panicked.
He was throwing them because Wynn was collapsing his throwing window and Nicholson was shutting down his check down routes. Opportunistic defense is complementary.
The front seven forces an accelerated off-balance decision, and the secondary jumps the route to capitalize.
Exactly.
Those battles in the 80s and the 90s put both programs on the national map, made both of them champions, and we are lucky to have another showdown.
Sorry, somebody's calling me again.
Welcome everyone to Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Hurricanes. As we'll see, the number 25 team in the country, the Florida State Seminoles,
Brings us to the absolute weirdest play in the scoring summary, and honestly, it perfectly captures the chaotic, bizarre masterpiece of this game.
Well, I know exactly what you're going to say.
In the third quarter, Florida State scored exactly 1 point.
The 1-point safety on a conversion attempt. It is one of the rarest, most statistically jarring plays in the entire rule book of college football.
I mean, most fans don't even know this rule exists, let alone how it actually happens on the field. The mechanics of this play are just absurd.
It's pure chaos.
Right, so Clemson finally punches the ball into the end zone to make the score 14-9. They line up for the conversion, the ball is snapped, and chaos ensues.
So the defense gets a hold of the ball, maybe a fumble or an interception.
Right, and the FSU defender starts running it all the way back toward the Clemson end zone, like he's nearly going the distance.
But before he scores, he fumbles the ball.
Exactly. A Clemson offensive player recovers it, but his momentum carries him backward, or, he retreats into his own end zone trying to evade a tackle, and he gets brought down in his own end zone by the FSU defense.
And by rule, a safety scored by the defending team on a conversion attempt awards them 1 single point.
It is functionally a 90-plus yard sequence of pure chaos that ends with the defending team getting a point.
And it completely demoralizes the opposing sideline. Think about it. You execute a long, grinding offensive drive, you score a touchdown, and on the extra point attempt, the other team's defense still finds a way to physically extract a point from you.
It has to force the opposing coaching staff to become incredibly conservative, knowing that even their scoring plays might result in negative outcomes.
Absolutely.
And that psychological devastation we just talked about on the field, well, it has a direct, tangible impact in the stands.
Oh, definitely.
Specifically on the 17 and 18-year-old kids, Florida State is trying to recruit. Because when you put a chaotic highlight reel product on the field like that, it pays massive dividends for the future of the program.
Yeah, the recruiting data following this game highlights one of the most immediate hauls you will ever see.
And that brings us to the 3 4-star commits they secured right from their visits during that Clemson game.
Yes, FSU landed these massive commitments right off the momentum of this matchup. And their positions perfectly mirror the story of the game.
Right, because they are all elite defensive players. We're talking about guys like Nick Penn, Sam linebacker, Garrison Tryon, a highly touted cornerback, and Keek Neighbors, a strong safety. All 4-star guys.
And they had other major prospects visiting during the game too, including Jason, a free safety, Darian, a strong safety, and Pat, a punter.
I mean, if you are a high school offensive recruit, you might watch Case Sperry throw for 66 yards and go 2 for 9 on 3rd down and think, I don't know if I want to play in that system.
Yeah, maybe not the best look for the offense.
But if you are a defensive prospect...
Oh, if you are a 4-star defensive prospect like Nick Penn or Keek Neighbors, this game is the ultimate sales pitch.
Why is that?
Because defensive recruits have a very specific psychological profile. They thrive on disruption, and they want to dictate the terms of the game. Mm-hmm. They're sitting in the stands watching a top 10 matchup where the defense isn't just supporting the team, the defense IS the team.
Right. You are watching Jonathan Jeans scoop a fumble for a touchdown, and the stadium just erupts. You watch Quindarius Jones jump a route and take it 89 yards to the house to ice the game, and the stadium literally shakes.
It's electric.
If you are a high school defensive back sitting in those bleachers, you're looking down at the field thinking, I want to be the main character in that action movie.
They see tangible proof that Florida State's defensive scheme rewards aggression. The coaching staff doesn't have to just promise these kids that they will be utilized, the film does the talking.
The proof is right there.
It's exactly. A recruit sees Blake Nicholson flying around making 12 tackles, or Kay Wynn being given the green light to pin his ears back and get 2 sacks, and they realize that this program schemes its defensive players to be the absolute heroes.
It completely overwrites any concerns about offensive struggles because in that stadium environment, the defensive players are the rock stars.
It really is a brilliant way to turn on-field chaos into future commits. You take a game where you lost the statistical battle in almost every traditional category, but you won the highlight reel, and you use that exact highlight reel to build your defense of the future.
Right. It perfectly illustrates how a program can embrace its current identity.
Yeah.
Florida State didn't try to be a methodical, volume-based team in this game because that simply isn't who they are right now.
No, they leaned into their opportunistic, explosive nature, and it paid off on the scoreboard and clearly on the recruiting trail with those 3 massive 4-star commits.
So, to kind of distill this whole deep dive for you, the listener in football, as in life, volume and possession do not always equate to value.
That's a great takeaway.
Florida State proved that by capitalizing on high leverage moments, massive explosive runs and aggressive defensive touchdowns, you can completely overwhelm an opponent who looks much better on a spreadsheet.
Clemson did all the grueling work. They marched down the field, they chewed up the clock, but they just couldn't find the leverage to finish.
Right. FSU bypassed the volume entirely and broke the game wide open exactly when they needed to, which shows that efficiency and opportunism are often far more valuable than simply grinding away at the margin.
Oh, for sure.
So I want you to consider your own box score for a second. Have you ever spent hours grinding away at something like running 59 plays, chewing up the clock at work, or in a personal project, but you feel like you aren't actually putting points on the board?
We frequently confuse being busy with being effective.
Exactly. Are you spending your energy grinding out empty, low-leverage yards, or are you actively looking for those game-changing opportunities that completely shift your momentum? Clemson was incredibly busy all afternoon. Florida State was effective.
It's all about finding your 84-yard run.
It really is. But I want to leave you with one final provocative thought, based on everything we uncovered today, especially looking at the schedule.
Oh, the schedule gets brutal.
Right. FSU proved they can win big on a statistically abysmal offensive day. And thankfully, they have a bye next week to rest up.
Which they desperately need.
They really do.
Okay.
Because right after that bye week, Their next game is against number 1 Miami at their stadium.
Yep, heading down to Miami.
So as you look at those 4 turnovers, the 3 lost fumbles, and that terrible 22% third down conversion rate, you have to wonder, what happens when they face a disciplined defense like Miami's that simply refuses to surrender those explosive breakaway plays?
That's the million-dollar question.
Can this Florida State team actually grind out a quiet, methodical win on the road against the number 1 team in the country if they are forced to? Or is this chaotic defensive masterpiece the only way they know how to survive? We'll find out in 2 weeks.
He lost one down the sideline.
Oh, God, dude.
To the house.
Bro, what the hell was that?
Really nice job by the offense there, setting up the play action pass. They ran the ball the last play, so the defense saw run action this time. A lot of guys bit down.
Our defense is going to have to step up. He was wide. Like, he should have picked that or deflected it at least.
They connect for the long score.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the finisher coming on that 42-yard touchdown toss. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score. Already down 14-7. Turning it on.
This is a rivalry game. You never know.
They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. They opened up this drive, getting all the way out to the 35, and now it's first down again. He's going to run it.
You see a lot of quarterbacks get in trouble when they start forcing things. He did a really good job. He wanted to throw the football. You could tell. Drops back, nothing open. It's okay. I'm just going to take off and get what I can get.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly.
Come on, McCoy. Are you fucking kidding me?
Aggressiveness on 3rd and short, trying to throw the football.
We're gonna go for this.
The look that they got, they weren't successful, and now it's 4th and short territory. Who knows what they're going to do?
On 4th down, looking to pass. Got out of trouble.
Yes. Yes, Robinson.
It's Robinson. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. The Seminoles are moving quickly down the field. And off from the shotgun.
Bro, our offensive line needs to step up with that.
Able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Back to pass. It's Sperry. The screen. He's got wheels. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. The defense trying to get a stop on 3rd down from the 44. Trying to beat him to the corner on the right.
There we go. There we go. Oh.
They've got it just outside
Woo.
the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Seminoles back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Quick strike complete. And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. The give out of the gun.
Damn, bro.
Throw it in reverse as that's the final play here in the first period. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting
It's hate
up
week.
their stat lines. They've swapped ends of the field, and we're ready to go in the second. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Gets it out quickly. He'll be stopped short at the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. No movement from the field goal unit. The offense is out there to try to keep this drive alive on fourth down. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start.
False start on offense.
Oh my God. I'm just going to go for the field goal. I need points.
This drive and kick the field goal here on fourth down. And he'll try to knock it through from the right hash and 35 yards out. Right down the boulevard, it's good. That'll bring him to within 4. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. UConn is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. These Huskies have picked themselves up before, and they're capable of it again today. They're trailing by 11 to Pittsburgh. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to do.
Oh, pick that. Come on.
Coming into this one, so there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the...
There we go, defense. That's what I need.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They'd given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. Third down, that was critical for them to get off.
Come on, Bates, give me a block, bro.
Some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
All right, guys, here comes the Florida State offense onto the field. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack. Get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
And as he throws, grab near the mark.
I hate how he, like, throws it a little high.
Much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42.
Man, it's nice having a QB that is going to hang in there. You could tell, hanging in there. He knows he's going to get hit, right? If I'm going to get hit, I might as well make a completion. Great job hanging in there, throwing the football on target and getting the completion.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Make the connection, the pressure there caused the missed timing. When you think of the significance of these two programs in the history of college football, remarkable that they've only been playing since 1951.
It's crazy because there's so many games you can...
Bro, they were all over that shit.
The first when this rivalry started, that so many games that were so important, that had such big implications, Jesse.
Yeah, it seems like over the course of 3 decades, right? The 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, every time these two teams played, Miami and Florida State, we were talking about how it would impact the national championship picture. This really...
Pittman, really? What the fuck, man?
Third and long.
Let me see something. Oh, should I try? Should I try it?
You're under pressure. You don't have timing, and as a result, now fourth down.
I might try it.
And how about this? They're going to send a kicker out there to try to put a...
I made one before. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh, I messed that up.
Guys still down by 4, still needing a touchdown to take the lead.
And sometimes Sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but we left some points off the scoreboard there.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength.
I really needed points off that.
Time they had and hoping for better fortune this time around. Complete in the middle. All down at the 39-yard line, but he's got 15 yards on the play and a fresh set of downs. Just inside the 40-yard line, it's 1st and 10 from the 39. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down.
Retarded, bro.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw.
No, sir.
Behind the line, it's Gilbert. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
All right, this offense just keeps trying to pound the ball into the end zone down tight, but the defense, they're very, very physical. So I think you got to think about either a perimeter run, a potential run-pass option, or let your quarterback try to go make a play through.
There we go.
Rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20.
This is a good sign for this defense. The rate they were going, not touching the quarterback, him already having 2 touchdown passes in the first half, this was not going to be a fun football game to watch. Now they're turning the tide a little bit, getting a little bit of pressure, getting a sack.
Now it looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try.
Please miss it.
Right side, a 37-yarder coming up. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. Now up by 7 points here in the second.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Hope you guys enjoy this game. It's been pretty crazy so far.
The kickoff unit ready to go. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To the air. It's Sperry. They've got the screen.
Bro, 76. Where was the block, bro? Damn. If he would have blocked, oh my God.
Put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Using his feet to buy time.
Fuck. I should have threw it away.
Timeout called here by the defense.
Damn, man.
That defensive lineman just smelled pass on that play, and he got in the backfield and sacked the quarterback.
And that's why they get paid the big bucks. Defensive linemen, they got to play their own, be physical. But, man, when you can get a beat and understand it's going to be a pass and jump off the snap like this, make a big play, and now you put them behind the sticks, and the advantage goes big time to the defense.
He'll take a deep shot.
Oh! What a catch! Oh, my God.
Well, it's a great job by the offensive line moving to the unblocked defender and giving their quarterback a beautiful pocket to throw to there.
Now on the option. He'll toss it.
Damn, that ain't doing shit.
Stop at the line of scrimmage. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. 2nd down coming. Wants to go up top. Moves away as he feels pressure. He's in open space downfield. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker.
Did he get the first? If he didn't get... Oh, my God.
The defense going to stop.
Are you serious?
They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. This offense is completely confident in their ability to get 1 yard. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Blasted as
what the fuck, man? Damn!
And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Yes! Yes! Oh, I needed that.
And he makes a play.
Was that Bates?
Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
All right, let's get at least a damn field goal, man. Come on.
The offense changing the play. Back to throw, it's Sperry. Quarterback now breaking the field. Keeps it himself and gets the first. He goes out of bounds across the 25, mark it at the 24, and this defense, its head is spinning. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 1st down. From the shotgun, the inside give. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. And the Seminoles come to the line in the hurry-up. Under fire. They get to him as he throws.
That was such a bad read.
Thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Man, if I'm the offensive line, I got to do a better job initially protecting my quarterback. And then once he scrambles out of that pocket, he starts to go to the left, I got to stick with the play because then he gets whacked at the end of the play. And instead of helping my quarterback up, I got to make sure I protect him a lot better moving forward.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the 1st down marker was. I got to go get that 1st down. He did a nice job of it.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Going for 6.
McCoy, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, my God, that was beautiful. Beautiful.
And I love it. Trust your passing game. Trust your quarterback because you know he can execute. You have confidence in him, and that is the way you finish a first half. And now you got a chance to.
Sperry put it right on the money.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And he makes the extra point. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive.
Man.
With an 11-yard touchdown dart. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he takes this from inside the 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Johnson wants to throw it. With the catch, it's Snow. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. They'll keep it on the ground. That should be the final play of the first half. Corners are going to bail. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time.
This is crazy.
Guys, some real edge-of-your-seat moments, and there's still 2 quarters to go here for the Noles and Canes. And talk about a good, competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these 2 programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been, well, a good, competitive game so far. They don't call me the most creative man in broadcasting for nothing, you know. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the battle between Miami and Florida State plays out.
This is definitely what a rivalry game's supposed to be like.
on the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Okay, guys, the Florida State offense returns to the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out.
Damn, Robinson is hurt. I need to get his ass out.
Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
And watch the offensive line here. They all block run. Because they're blocking run, the quarterback decides, oh, I got a favorable matchup. He dumps it out to the right, makes the right read, gets a nice positive game.
Takes a handoff. It's Webster. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Noles will snap it on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires downfield.
Beautiful.
And he gets a big chunk of yardage.
Deuce Robinson is going off.
Nice catch there. I'll tell you,
He's been clutch.
The Seminole passing attack has come a long way over the years. When I was playing against them back in the day, they were in the I formation every single play. Maybe it was play action. Maybe it was a shot play to the perimeter of the field. Now, they've got guys running all different kinds of routes, playing at different tempos, lining the ball over the field. This dude is a guy you just have to know where he is every single snap.
Squeezes out a couple of yards down to the 32.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Back to the ground game on the left. Picks up the first down, still moving. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a first down.
The Seminoles kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. From the gun, they'll try the middle.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. To the air, it's Berry. Sets up the screen.
Look at that, baby. Look at that. Woo!
This dude is just slicing and dicing this defense into
Slicing and dicing.
Carving him up completely.
Man, our running back room is stacked.
So much success today. You got to find a way to make these quarterbacks feel more uncomfortable.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They march 79 yards on the drive, and they close the deal with a 20-yard pass for 6. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Give to the running back.
Oh, man, this game is so good. Even if we lose it, at least it's been so fun.
And after giving up a long run defensively, they don't have a chance to substitute now. They've got to get ready to go because the offense is going tempo.
Out of the gun, the inside.
Oh, my. How did he miss that? Come on. Come on.
And the offense has a little bit of success, and what do? They push that turbo button right back on the line, ready to run another play.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Hard
Get him. There you go.
Virtually unblocked, and he stopped for a loss loss of 8. The Canes headed quickly to the line. Johnson looking to throw.
Yes.
Going to be incomplete on 3rd.
All right, let's drain this clock.
Nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
He'll field the punt and look for room. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. They'll put the ball in play from just inside their own 40 at the 39. He leaves it with his back.
This guy Hayes is so fast, bro.
Nice.
He is so fast.
They'll move the sticks with the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They'll snap it from the 47 on first down. Looking downfield on first down. Got it in the middle. It's McCoy. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Wide receiver comes in motion. They'll toss it to the left.
They read that one.
Holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
On 3rd down, he drops the throw. Makes the catch. It's Pittman. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch.
Hold your 4s up. Hold your 4s up. Can we secure this dub?
Take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot.
Oh, he almost blocked it. My kicker is a stud, man.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Conference USA action right now, fellas. Wait till you see how things are playing out. Middle Tennessee is ahead in this one. This team plays a fun brand of football there in Murfreesboro, but they're a long way from closing this out.
Let's see if he can make a play on the return. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. And here comes
Let's see if I can get him to throw a pick.
back onto the field. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. The Hurricanes can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Complete to the right.
Come on, you got to hit him, 19. You got to hit him hard, man.
And his offense is going to have to come up clutch, man. Like late in the football game, you are trailing. This is why you get paid the big bucks. This is why the quarterback is the glamour position. Like, you've got to trust him. He's got to come through. They got to put a few drives together here to get back in this.
But you scared to get hit.
Able to get just a few before sliding to avoid the hits. And the Canes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They go to the ground. How about this sophomore stopping him short?
Good play, D.
I don't like the play call. You're down this much against the best run defense in the entire country. You're just smashing your face against the wall. You're not going to get it done. To win this game, you're going to have to throw the ball to get back in.
Runs through the tackle. He's got first down.
I thought about blitzing right there, but
and the Hurricanes are in the hurry-up.
And I know everybody's looking
trying not to be.
as it ticks, and we're down a couple of possessions, but nice job getting the first down. But this offense has to stay in hyperspeed, right? Down 2 possessions, got to throw the football, use the sidelines, use the middle of the field, especially as
Trying to be somewhat smart about what's going on, but
Now the play fake.
Oh my God.
He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening. And the Canes come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Well, down 2 possessions. Good news is you get the completion. Bad news, though, did not get out of bounds. You know right now, saving the clock. That is at a premium for this offense.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Quarterback empties his backfield. Everybody and their brother showing blitz. Johnson wants to throw it.
No, sir. I read that. Read that one.
Loose by the hit.
I'm glad my fucking guy caught him, though, because usually they wouldn't do that.
Unit getting ready, or is this already 4-down territory? From the gun, wants to pass.
I should have guessed he was about to do that.
He gives him a fresh set of downs, and this one will be first.
Sorry, boys.
from the 6. Wants to throw again. Escape. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Looking to fire. Into the end zone.
Oh, he dropped it. Come on.
The drive with a score.
That would have been game over.
Here we could have a thrilling end to this game. It is 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they're after him. Oh, and he took a shot as he...
That pressure, boy.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. So on 4th down, here comes the...
I would ice him, but I don't want to waste the timeout.
And this one is perfect. This is now a 7-point game.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt. But this offense would...
There he goes.
That was almost huge.
Chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now 1st down from the 39.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
And the Seminoles in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. And the defense stops him just short of the 1st down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. The Seminoles are facing 3rd and inches. Dropping back, it's Barry.
How do you drop that? Robinson. Oh, my God. Ooh, I don't want to do this, but I got to, and I'm glad I did. Yes.
An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect 4th down call there. The Seminoles are moving quickly down the field. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. And the Noles pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. On the move, it's Haynes.
Damn.
And he never had a...
How many timeouts do they have? I feel like they just did like 5.
They'll use
They had the 2-minute warning, injuries. That play does not work. All right. I just got to drain this clock.
This one play on third down with the lead late. If you get the first down, that's ball game. There's not enough time left for the defense to get it back and go march down the field. So let's dial up our best play offensively. Let's make sure our best players are touching the football here.
On the direct snap, it's Haynes. Defense played the Wildcat very well on that one, stopping them for a short gain. So here we are on fourth down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world.
Let this clock drain down.
Between the uprights, it's good. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
You know, it's funny, in an age where there's so many college football analytics and everybody wants to go for it on fourth down, at the end of the day, it still comes down to managing the game. Good decision by the head coach here in the fourth quarter.
I'd say the player of the game has been this kicker. He is drilling these. He's coming in clutch.
Here he comes from
He could have had that 60-yard one if I didn't fuck it up.
team to knock down the return man. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. No time to feel sorry for yourself here, Jesse. There's still a chance, but you've got to get it going now.
No doubt. Two-possession game at this point, right, David? Not a lot of time left.
Man, I can't wait to hear what ESPN says after this game.
Yeah, and I probably want to go fast. I want to throw the football. I don't know how many possessions I got left. I got to make them all count.
Man, I forgot who we played
Come
next.
to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. Johnson looking to throw. Pressure coming. Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty
I'm going to be petty.
They'll go for it on fourth down. Timeout called by the defense. 13 seconds to go.
Let's get a
Down
pig.
by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. He wants a big play here late.
Bro, he didn't even jump. He didn't put his hands up. He didn't jump.
This game with a little something
What
to feel
the hell?
Likely a lost cause, but they'll throw it again. Going to try to get it himself.
That's game, boys.
Rarely disappoints when the
GG's.
Seminoles and Hurricanes get together, and it is Florida State celebrating the flaming spear of victory by taking down the U. That will put the wrap on things from here for David Pollack. and
What
Jesse
a
Palmer.
game.
You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports.
Sperry did his thing. I don't think we had any picks, no turnovers, clean game. I think we had one penalty, maybe. All right, that's going to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys watching this. I think I got a new follower, actually. Someone subscribed, I believe. I appreciate you if you did subscribe. That was a great game. Very fun. I can't wait to see who I play next and give you guys the deep dive commentary from this game, the next game. We're 5-1. Really wish we didn't lose to Notre Dame now, but we lost to them in the rain. Sloppy game, very close game. But I appreciate you guys watching, and if you enjoy this, please hit me with a like subscribe, and I will just keep making videos like this for you guys. If you enjoy this, go back to my I have a little video collection of the FSU rebuild, and if you watch them all in a row, it's pretty cool. I have like AI videos in between, doing like kind of like behind the scenes clips and stuff like that. So if you enjoy this, please just watch it in a row. I'm sure you'll enjoy the games, the Alabama game and the Clemson game. If you enjoyed this, you should watch those because those were insane. The Alabama game was probably hands down my favorite so far. But yes, please check those out. I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, I'm out. Later.